Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Just Law on IQRA TV. I'm your host Ilyas. I'll be with you for the next hour. As our regular viewers are aware, on Just Law we normally discuss an area of law which is of interest to you, our viewers. Secondly, more importantly, Just Law is a live show. So whatever questions you've got, you're able to ring in and ask us those questions, and inshallah we should be able to give you some guidance in relation to those matters live on air. On this show, we should be able to cover matters as diverse as immigration law, family law matters, criminal matters. So whatever your questions are, as long as they relate to English law, please feel free to ring us on the number that will appear at the bottom of the screen, and hopefully we should be able to give you some guidance, some advice in relation to those matters. Just a couple of brief matters before we get going. Obviously it's a live show, so we're not able to look at documents before we advise you. If it transpires once we speak to you that do you need to look at documents, then I'll ask you to leave your number with the control room and I will speak to you afterwards and then arrange a time to look at your documents. And secondly, obviously it's a live show, so we're not able to take very detailed information from you. Again, if it looks like we'll need very detailed information from you before I can advise you, then again I'll ask you to leave your number with the control room and I will have a more thorough discussion with you later on. But in my experience, the vast majority of calls that we receive live on air, I am able to advise on those matters. We'll take our first call before we go to our topic for the day. Hello, अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
अस्सलामुअलैकुम इलियास भाई।
जी वालेकुम। जी अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह ठीक ठाक। आप कैसे हो? ठीक हो?
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह ठीक ठाक।
जी।
मैंने ये पूछना था, आज ये नई खबर है कि ये जो मैं भी यूरोपियन नेशनल हूँ
जी,
तो उनके मतलब के अगर सेटलमेंट के लिए वो अप्लाई कर सकते हैं
जी।
तो असल में मेरे पास तो पहले वो ब्लू कार्ड है जिसमें स्टिकर लगा हुआ है परमानेंट का
जी,
तो मुझे तो नहीं जरूरत पड़ेगी दोबारा सेटलमेंट के लिए। और दूसरा ये कि मैं बाय द वे नेक्स्ट वीक मैं नेशनलिटी के लिए भी अप्लाई कर रहा हूँ क्योंकि मैंने लाइफ इन द यूके वगैरह
सब पास कर लिया। जी जी। तो आपके लिए ये है ना कि अगर आप नेशनलिटी के लिए अप्लाई कर लेंगे तो फिर तो आपको यूरोपियन के कोई भी कार्ड की ज़रूरत नहीं है ना। उसके बाद तो ब्लू कार्ड या तो रेजिडेंस कार्ड आपको तो बिल्कुल ज़रूरत नहीं होगी ना, आपको जब नेशनलिटी मिल जाएगी इसके बाद। मगर अगर आपने नेशनलिटी के लिए अप्लाई नहीं किया और आपके पास अभी वो ब्लू कार्ड है जिस पे लिखा है कि आपके पास इतनी ये परमानेंट रेजिडेंसी या जो भी है, तो उसके लिए वो नई स्कीम आने वाली है ना फ्रॉम, वो कहते हैं जनवरी, वो अभी कहते हैं कि मार्च में शुरू होगी। एक न्यू स्कीम होगी कि जो भी यूरोपियंस है या तो जो भी यूरोपियन मेंबर्स के फैमिली मेंबर्स है यूरोपियन नेशनल्स के, वो सब के लिए ये न्यू स्कीम है ना, सबको अप्लाई करना पड़ेगा सेटलमेंट स्टेटस के लिए या तो प्री सेटल्ड स्टेटस के लिए, वो सबको करना पड़ेगा। मगर उसने काफ़ी टाइम दिया है वो अप्लाई करने के लिए, फ्रॉम मार्च 2019 से लेकर जून 2021 तक का टाइम है अप्लाई करने में। सो बहुत टाइम है जिसको भी अप्लाई करना।
फिक्र की बात तो नहीं है कि 29 मार्च से पहले करने की तो नहीं,
बिल्कुल नहीं है। उसकी स्कीम भी अभी अप एंड रनिंग नहीं है, अभी उसके पास सिर्फ वो पायलट स्कीम है। कोई
दूसरा मेरा ये क्वेश्चन है कि मेरा कजन आ रहा है स्पेन से
जी,
तो क्या वो 29 मार्च के बाद भी सेटलमेंट कर सकता है
जी,
इधर रह सकते हैं या नहीं?
जो बेस्ट किया है कि वो मार्च से पहले आ जाए यूके में, बेस्ट ऑप्शन मार्च से पहले वो यूके में आ जाए और उसका कुछ काम बता दो मार्च से पहले, वो बेस्ट है। अगर वो मार्च तक नहीं आ सका तो प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं होना चाहिए, क्योंकि ऐसा लगता है कि अप अंटिल द एंड ऑफ 2020 ये सिचुएशन सेम ही रहेगा कि जो भी आएगा अप अंटिल द एंड ऑफ 2020 उसको वो यहाँ रह सकेंगे, उसको भी इंडेफिनिट मिलेगा, वो सेम ही रहेगा। मगर प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि हमको पता नहीं है ना कि ये क्या होने वाला है, ये ब्रेक्सिट के साथ किसी को पता नहीं है ना। अगर मार्च में अगर कोई ब्रेक्सिट कोई अग्रीमेंट नहीं हुई और फिर कोई डिफरेंट रूल्स आ गए, पता नहीं है ना किसी को क्या होने वाला है। तो इसलिए बेस्ट ऑप्शन है कि मार्च से पहले वो आ जाए। मुझको तो ये लगता है कि मार्च में क्या होगा कि ये लोग ये कहेंगे कि मार्च में ब्रेक्सिट नहीं होगी, हम एक्सटेंड करेंगे उसको 6 मंथ्स के लिए। सो वो सितंबर तक ले जाएंगे, तो फिर सितंबर तक ठीक होगा। फिर वो कहेंगे कि उसके बाद भी 1 साल 1.5 ईयर्स के लिए आप आ सकते हैं। मगर गारंटी तो नहीं है ना कि ये ऐसा ही होगा. इससे अगर कोई आने वाला
एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन है कि वो मेरा कजन ऑलरेडी एक आया हुआ है, तो उसकी जो बेटी हैं वो ओवर 18 हैं 2 जी, तो अगर वो भी आया तकरीबन 3 माह पहले जी, तो उनके पास अभी तो कोई वो डिपेंडेंट है अपने वालिद की जी, वैसे उनके पास यूरोपियन नेशनल है वो भी जी, जी, तो अगर वो उनकी शादी कर दें तो वो क्या वो अपने पार्टनर को बुला सकती हैं, या कि फिर वो अभी जब तक वो डिपेंडेंट होंगे अपने वालिद डिपेंडेंट से बाहर निकलेंगी तो फिर बुला सकती
जी. इसमें थोड़ा सा केयरफुल रहना है कि फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल ये है ना, वो तो अभी डिपेंडेंट है, तो अप अंटिल 21 वो ओके है, क्योंकि अंडर 21 तो कोई डिपेंडेंसी बताने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. सिर्फ वो यूरोपियन नेशनल पेरेंट्स की डॉटर है वो ठीक है, मगर आफ्टर 21 प्रॉपर डिपेंडेंसी बतानी पड़ती है कि वो काम नहीं करती. सो आफ्टर 21 ये बताना पड़ता है कि वो पेरेंट्स पे डिपेंडेंट है, वो यूरोपियन नेशनल पे डिपेंडेंट है. तो वो सिचुएशन में उसको 5 साल गुजारना है. सो अगर वो अभी इसकी एज क्या है?
एक 20 की है, वो एक 18 की है.
लेट्स से वो 18 वाली है ना, तो उसको इंडेफिनेट मिलेगा 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 में उसको इंडेफिनेट मिलेगा 23 में. तो फिर उसके बाद वो उसको इंडेफिनेट मिलेगा, उसके बाद वो बुला सकेगी उसका हस्बैंड को इंडेफिनेट मिलने के बाद.
अच्छा, उससे पहले फिर वो नहीं बुला सकती?
इसके पहले नहीं बुला सकती ना, उसका प्रॉब्लम है क्योंकि उसके पास यूरोपियन पासपोर्ट नहीं है.
उनके पास यूरोपियन पासपोर्ट है खुद भी, और बच्चियों के पास भी है.
और बच्ची के पास यूरोपियन पासपोर्ट है, बच्ची के पास
जी जी,
तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है ना. अगर बच्ची के पास यूरोपियन पासपोर्ट है तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है ना.
वो बच्चियों के पास, दोनों के पास वो यूरोपियन पासपोर्ट है
ना, देन देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम. अगर चिल्ड्रन के पास यूरोपियन पासपोर्ट नहीं होता ना तो प्रॉब्लम होता.
अच्छा, तो अभी फिर उनको कोई मसला नहीं, वो अगर शादी करें तो
नहीं, कोई मसला नहीं है. तो उसके लिए तो ये है ना कि बिकॉज वो आ गए यूके में प्रायर टू मार्च 2019, तो उसके लिए तो वो ओल्ड रूल्स ही अप्लाई होगा ना, वो तो बुला सकेंगे, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगा. तो उसके लिए तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है क्योंकि
उसको आप बहुत तफसील से जवाब देते हैं. जज़ाकल्लाह.
नो प्रॉब्लम. जज़ाकल्लाह, आपने फ़ोन किया है. थैंक यू वेरी मच. ओके, अस्सलाम वालेकुम. विल टेक आवर नेक्स्ट कॉल. हेलो, अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू.
जी, वालेकुम अस्सलाम. जी.
Last time I spoke to you, na?
I remember.
About but you says RSV. What does it mean?
What was it? Sorry,
SV. You says you can't do anything unless you go to RSV or SRV. I don't know.
No. It will be the SRA.
SRA.
Yeah.
So what is that?
SRA is the regulatory body for solicitors.
Oh.
So what happens is solicitors, like other professions, are regulated. So they have a body which oversees not their work but oversees their general approach to things. So if there's misconduct problems, if there's problem with work, etc., obviously the rules which are set by the SRA, if there's been a breach of those rules, so consumers, customers, clients, they can refer the matter to they can complain to the SRA. So it stands for...
This solicitor is because my mom's best friend nephew was supporting my case. I didn't know the solicitor was charging him money. He owes them £16,000.
It's a lot of money.
And they haven't done my case. It's going on for 3 years.
It's a lot of money.
And because he got my address, he was downstairs. And since that day, my mind is not working.
Okay. So if you are not happy, then you can complain to the Solicitors Regulation Authority. If you go on the website, even if you Google SRA, the website for the Solicitors Regulation Authority will come up, and it will tell you if you are not happy as a client, what you need to do to raise a complaint about a lawyer that you've had dealings with.
Jazakallah.
No problem. Eh? Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you for your call. Okay, Assalamu alaikum. Good. So, as I was saying at the outset, what we normally do is discuss an area of law which is of interest to our viewers. Now, what we started last week was in relation to spouse applications. In New Year, we thought we'd start from the start again, pick the sort of most popular topic, which is how to sponsor your husband or wife to come to the United Kingdom. We went through the rules briefly last week, and where we got to was the problem area with spouse applications, which is how you meet the financial requirement. So whenever a client comes to see you and says that they have a husband or wife abroad, whether it's India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, wherever it is, whichever country it is, and they say, look, we want to sponsor our partners to come to the UK, the first issue that you always look at, and the matter that causes most of the problems, is the financial requirement. How are you going to meet the financial requirement? So the starting point always is, in the vast majority of cases, the requirement that we need to satisfy is a requirement that the sponsor in the UK should be earning the sum of £18,600. Now there are exceptions to that, and we will look at the exception later on or in other shows. But the normal starting point is that does the sponsor, the person in the UK, earn £18,600 per annum. So that's the requirement that's been set. Now, many times clients approach us and say, look, hasn't the requirement changed? Hasn't it dropped to £13,000, £13,500? Wasn't there a case going on in the courts where the amount was being challenged and the rules were changed, and now the sponsor doesn't need to be earning 18,600? It's sufficient for somebody within the family to support them, maybe the parents, brother or sister. The reality is that the amount still remains 18,600. In very exceptional cases, the Home Office may accept a case where the 18,600 requirement applies but is not being met. So they might accept the sponsorship of a family member. But that is in very exceptional cases. There has to be something really out of the ordinary as to why this requirement cannot be met. And then there has to be very good evidence that whoever is being put forward as the additional third-party sponsor is able to support the husband or wife of the sponsor who's coming from abroad. So these are exceptional cases. These are cases where you need solid evidence as to why the requirement cannot be met and why it's exceptional, and also how this shortfall is going to be plugged by a family member who's going to support somebody. These are exceptional cases. The starting point always is that the sponsor should be earning 18,600. There are exceptions, we'll look at that later, but the starting point always is, does the sponsor earn 18,600? Now, when you look at that, there are different ways of meeting that requirement. It isn't just one set of rules which governs everything. There are different requirements relating to the different sources of income that the sponsor receives. So that's the very next thing that you look at. Firstly, meet the requirement. How are we going to meet it? So very briefly, if you look at the different sources of income that a sponsor has, you could have a sponsor who is employed. You could have a sponsor in the UK who is self-employed, maybe as a sole trader or a partner in a business. You could have somebody who is self-employed but operates a limited company in the United Kingdom. You could have somebody who has income from non-employment sources, such as they might have substantial rental income or dividend income from businesses that they don't necessarily own. Or, for example, they don't have income but they have substantial savings and they wish to rely on savings to meet the 18,600 requirement. So there are various different ways in which a sponsor may be able to meet the 18,600 requirement, from employment to self-employment as a sole trader or a partner, to somebody who operates a limited company, to somebody who's got non-employment income such as rental income, to somebody who's relying on cash savings, or somebody who's relying on other income such as maintenance payments from a former partner, etc. So there's a whole whole host of different scenarios that you need to look at when you meet the 18,600 requirement. So the starting point always is, normally you need to meet the requirement. There are exceptions. If you need to meet the 18,600 requirement, look at the sponsor's individual circumstances, then work out what does the sponsor need to submit to support the case. Because with each different category, there are different sets of documents that need to be submitted, and they are all substantially and significantly different from each other. So very briefly, before we go into detail, somebody who is employed and submitting wage slips and bank statements, their case is going to be significantly different to somebody who is self-employed, who will need to submit documents such as accounts, such as a year's set of business bank statements, etc. So all these categories are different from one another. Now, in practice, the reality is that the normal category that you come across is the situation where somebody is employed. So they are working for somebody. It's not their own business. They don't own the business or anything of that nature. They are employed. Now, that's your typical category, somebody who is employed in a business. The normal requirement is that the person needs to submit just very basic documents, which we'll look at after we've taken our next call. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Ji, thank you for calling.
Okay. I wanted to inquire if my daughter-in-law, she is here.
Right, okay.
She came 2.5 years ago.
Yep.
And we have to apply again. How do we apply the second time?
Okay. You know, when you apply again, there are 3 things that you need to remember when you apply again. 3 main requirements that need to be fulfilled. First of all, she will need to pass an English test.
Okay, which is the English test?
Which is A2. A2 in English. And the place where she will need to do it is a place called Trinity College. Trinity College. TRI. Trinity College. TRI College. Yep.
Okay.
Now, if you go on the computer, if you ask somebody to go on the computer, and if they simply Google Trinity College A2, Trinity College A2, that will take you to the right page on the Trinity College website. From there, you can book the A2 test. Okay. So the A2 test is slightly higher than the A1 test that was done when she came to the UK initially.
Yes.
Okay. So that's the first main thing you need to consider, that the English test at A2 level will need to be passed first. Secondly, the income requirement will need to be fulfilled again. Okay. So there, what you look at is obviously the person who's in the UK, the person who's the British. What does that person do? Is that person working, self-employed, etc.?
Okay, but he has DVL.
Sorry, DLA, did you mean? Sorry?
DLA, DLA.
Okay, right. That helps us a bit, because then obviously the 18,600 requirement doesn't have to be fulfilled. We need to count how much money is coming in from DLA. Now, it may well be that there is enough DLA money, enough employment support allowance coming in to meet the requirements without having to rely on any other income. Okay?
Fine.
So, secondly, the income requirement will have to be met again. Now, so that's the second thing. The third thing you need to bearing in mind is evidence will need to be submitted that both of them are living together. The evidence of that is quite simple. They want to see, the Home Office wants to see bills and letters coming to the same address for both of them, whether it is in joint names or single names or whatever it is. Letters, let's say for 2016, 17 or 18 or 17, 18, 19, over a period of time coming to the same address. So they're the 3 things that you need to look at: English, income, and evidence of the relationship. That's what you need to collect. Now, in terms of process, the application is normally made online. And then the documents are either submitted in the post or you can make an appointment at one of the visa centres and submit the documents there.
Okay. And how long before we have to do that?
The earliest you can apply is 28 days before the visa expires.
Okay.
The latest you can apply online is on the last day that the visa expires.
Okay.
So, for example, if the visa expires on the 29th of January, you can apply from the 2nd of January up until the 29th of January.
Fine.
So, okay.
Okay. Now, for this what we call the bills and that the third requirement, if there's very less letters on that, because very less letter comes on her name, because most of the bill I am paying.
Okay, I understand, right? That's not a problem. There are two ways of dealing with that. First of all, you do a letter yourself confirming, look, they live at my house and the bills come in my name. And you put the bills in your name. So you show them the gas, electricity, water, telephone, TV license, whatever it is, the bills are coming in my name. So you do a letter. This is my house, they live with me, the bills come in my name. Here's a copy of the latest bills. So that's the first thing you can do. The second thing that you can do is you could potentially get a letter from like a doctor to confirm that the person is registered at this particular address. If the doctor can go further and say yes, they attend the surgery together, etc., that would help. The other thing that you can do is you could get a letter, for example, from your local councillor. If you know the councillor, you could get a letter from the councillor. The councillor can confirm, look, I know that they live here, they're a couple, they're living together. So there are ways of dealing with the problem. Lastly, I don't normally do this, but they could put in photographs together whilst they've been in the UK. So different photographs at birthdays, Eid time, whatever, showing. So there are other ways of dealing with,
like going in the evening when they go for dinner everywhere. They do take their selfies and photographs. You can print out those. I think.
So what we're doing is, if there's lack of documents in terms of letters, etc., this is the way we deal with it.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Okay, fine. Jazakallah.
Okay, Jazakallah. Thank you very much for your call. Thank you. We'll take our next call. I think the call might have been dropped. I'll try again. Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Ji, wa alaikum assalam. Ji, thank you for calling.
I have a question. Basically, I'm a British citizen.
Okay, all right.
And I have to, my wife's visa is finishing on next month. She's on spouse visa, FLLM.
Okay.
Yeah. Since 2017, November 2000, she's working for an employer.
Yeah.
And her income is over 19,000.
Okay.
Recently, she got promoted.
Okay.
And her salary increased.
Okay.
Which became 23,000.
Okay.
My question is now, when she will apply for extension, does she need to provide 6 months bank statement and 6 months payslip, or 12 months bank statement and payslip?
Okay. You know the first salary figure you gave me, was it 19,000? I didn't quite catch.
Yes. From November 2017, it was 19,000.
Okay, I understand. Right. Okay. No, it's only 6 months wage slips she needs to submit, not 12 months.
Only 6 months payslip.
Only
and one more question, because her employer is a big company.
Yeah.
And they have their specific format. They don't mention when they did provide the promotion letter and the contract.
Very common problem. Yeah.
But employment letter, they don't mention that when she got promoted, from when the salary is changing.
Understand.
They don't mention that. And when we requested to them, they said, no, we have a specific format.
Don't worry. Yeah.
We can't change it.
Yeah. That's fine.
So do you think it might create a problem?
No, it won't be a problem. It's a common problem, certainly with larger companies, because they have their own format for the letter. They won't go outside their normal standard letter. So what you do is you submit that, you submit your 6 months wage slips, you submit your 6 months bank statements, okay? Then what you do is, when she got the promotion and the salary got increased, if you have the letter for that, put that in. And then just do a letter saying, look, I'm submitting the application. I have asked my employer to confirm when this salary was payable from. They're not prepared to confirm it, but it's obvious from my wage slips and my bank statements that I meet the requirement. It's sufficient. In my experience, it's never been a problem.
It's never been a problem.
Never been a problem.
And there is a bit of complication because her promotion effective on 7th of October.
Okay.
Okay. But only this month, January, she's getting the payment, the increased rate, and they are backdating all the adjustments.
All right, okay. But it's not a problem because, because prior to October, she was on £19,000 anyway, no?
Anyway,
so she met the requirement.
Met the requirement. Okay. Because when I've opened that, the online application form, they gave us the 4 options. First option is above the financial, same fixed income above the financial requirement. Then there is another option, fixed income below the financial requirement. Third one is variable income. Above the financial requirement.
Go for the first one. First one,
yeah? Okay. Thanks for your help.
No problem.
I was a bit confused about this matter.
Don't worry. It'll be fine. I'm 100% sure it'll be fine. Okay? All right. Jazakallah. Thank you very much for your call. Okay. And I think that takes us towards the end of the first part to the show. Inshallah, we'll be back in the next few minutes. Until then, Assalamu alaikum.